Don, maybe tell us about what's going on here tonight with regards to this public information session, open house, if you will.
This is the second open house for the environmental assessment that's been done for the corridor. It includes Black Road between McNabb and Third Line, and Third Line from Black Road to the hospital entrance.
Now, there's a very important reason why this is going on. The traffic is picking up in the northern part of the city with the Surrey Hospital being there and various developments.
That's correct. The new development, lots of big boxes up the Great Northern Road. The hospital development, certainly the moving of all the high schools is also increased traffic in this area.
So what are people getting from this open house tonight? What are they learning from this? Or I guess they're taking in a lot of different options?
At this point, we're presenting the preferred alternative to the public, and that includes 4 lanes between McNabb Street. Black Road will be 4 lanes between McNabb Street and Second Line. Third Line will be a wider 2 lanes than we have now. The platform will be wider, but we're not adding lanes.
So what difference is it between 2 wide lanes and 4 lanes?
It's a wider platform. The platform we have now on Black Road and on Third Line is not wide enough. If, for example, 2 cars had to stop and an ambulance had to get between, there's a few areas that are not wide enough. So we're widening the platform so that it makes it safer.
So in that situation, it would just give them enough room to pull over, basically.
That's correct.
Would it also improve traffic for pedestrians and cyclists that they have those wider lanes?
Yes, the wider lanes will be safer for cyclists on Third Line portion. We're also doing an off-road trail, essentially an asphalt sidewalk on the south side of Third Line. That's what we're proposing, so that there's better pedestrian facilities on Third Line. And paved shoulders will be provided on all of Black Road for cyclists and pedestrians.
That's that whole corridor between
Third Line down to McNabb.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so what's the reaction been like from the public so far? There's been quite a turnout here.
It's been positive. There's been a few negative things from residents. Certainly when you add additional traffic to any street, it's not a good thing for the people that live there, the people that have property. But generally, they're pleased with what we plan to do.
So what's why the negative feedback from some of the residents? What's their specific concerns?
It's primarily because of the increased traffic.
So
That's already there. Yes.
Exhaust and all that.
Yes. Yeah, and it's difficult for people. The intersection at Third Line and Black Road, for example, is a pretty busy intersection. We will do some improvements there to help with turning movements.
It just seems like you're getting through one project and now you're focusing on another. I just want to touch on the Second Line widening, if I may. Going west off of Black Road and going up the hill towards Pine Street, there's a couple of noticeable bumps in the road. There's one just off of the Black Road intersection. I don't know if you're aware of that. And there's a kind of a smaller one as you're going up the hill towards the St. Mary's College and Pine Street. Is work going to be done to eliminate those?
Those, unless there are deficiencies in the workmanship, they may just be the bumps that you get when you don't put the top lift of asphalt on. Typically, for the third phase of asphalt, third phase, the top lift of asphalt will be placed next year. So I would expect there's a bump at each end of the third phase, and that would be at Black Road and at the bottom of the hill.
Now, about a week or two ago, the accompanying paths alongside Second Line East were being put. They were being constructed and put together and all that. And so, is this project near completion with those paths being put in place? Because it looks like the main road is pretty well done.
Yes, the main road is complete. I'm not exactly sure where they're at with the paths and the sidewalks. They're probably very close to being complete. There will be some shoulder work as well to prevent erosion, and the street lights need to be energized as well.
So just to go back to the earlier question of the sort of the ruts or those bumps in the road, I guess the drivers will just have to kind of avoid them if they can for the next year.
Well, if they're
until that
yeah, we'll have to put up with them until we complete the road next year.
So let's talk about this project that's upcoming, the Black Road and Third Line. What's the timeline on this? This is the second open house you mentioned. What happens from here?
There's a tentative plan to construct Black Road and Third Line in the 5-year capital works plan that council approved. It depends on funding, but right now the intention is to construct Black Road between McNabb and Second Line in 2016, then Black Road between Second Line and Third Line in 2018, and in 2019 we would do Third Line.
So it's quite a long-term project.
It's spread out over 4 years. We may have to do the Black Road between Second Line and McNabb may have to be done in 2 phases over 2016 and 2017.
So when do you hope to hear about, it's kind of an impossible question, but when do you hope to hear back about funding for these?
The application process was opened up last week by the Ministry of Transportation. We intend to put an application in for full connecting link funding for the portion on Black Road south of Second Line, because that's the portion that is connecting link and it's the one that has the most traffic.
And so about approximately how long is that going to take from A to B?
The funding deadline is the end of January, and they hope to tell us whether our funding application is successful in probably March, which is a good timeline for us. It'll allow us to tender the work and get started in the spring.
So this is kind of the only other opportunity that residents have. How can they find out more if they're not able to?
Residents, there's a sign-up sheet here. There's also the ability to email the consultant with your input.
And that'll be going on until what time?
30 days or so from now, the input, and then for the environmental assessment itself, we will take a report to council in probably early January, and then there's another 30-day comment period where people can contact us and we can do our best to resolve issues.